My job is pretty much singing for corporate events, for big shows all around town, and also I do a lot of original music and composing for my songwriting, which is more about me personally and my experiences. So this is my passion, and I'm so lucky that I get to do what I love. Hi, I'm Tring, and I'm a singer-songwriter living in Dubai. For me, I can't imagine doing anything else since I was young. I was always writing poems and stories, and my mum thought I was going to be a journalist or an author or something along those lines. But actually I channel it now with my music and my writing, and that was for me the biggest understanding of who I am, is just that I learned that that's my passion and that's what I'm meant to be doing, and I get such a buzz from it, and I think I can't imagine myself doing anything else and taking any other direction. At times in my life I've tried to do other things, or like I've felt like I need to escape from it, from the pressure of music, and then I've tried to do something else, but I've always come back to music, and it's always been something that has pulled me back in, and I've never actually wanted to do anything else with my life. I think I was maybe about 7 when I first started writing songs. They were awful at the time. And I think my first song was called My Magic Machine in the Sky, which is probably the most tragic thing anyone's ever written and should never be heard. But I do still remember it, and I'm not going to sing it for you. But yeah, it was very cheesy and very cute, and yeah, I definitely started really early. And my mum was so shocked because she had no idea that I loved singing. She had no idea that, she thought I was just writing poetry, as a little kid. And so she found my karaoke machine, which I got for Christmas one year when I was about 8. And I was bringing my friends home from school and teaching them to sing. And she found all these cassette tapes of me with my friends learning songs, and me sort of coaching them, which is so embarrassing. And she found these tapes, and then she enrolled me in a Saturday course, which was called Pop Academy. And I absolutely loved it, and I used to go every weekend whilst I was studying. At the age of about 13, I'd done quite a lot of Saturday schooling for this particular school called the Academy of Contemporary Music, and it was just, my passion was just being fulfilled by this class. I just loved it, and I met some amazing musicians and made some lifelong friends from being there as well. My first technical gig was actually busking in the town centre of Woking, which is near my hometown. And I think my mum saw the advert or something, and she said to me, "Look, I know you're so passionate about music. Do you want to perform publicly for people you don't know and give it a go and see sort of how you get on?" And I think she wasn't sure how I'd cope with the nerves. I don't think she really knew if I'd continue it as a hobby or as a passion. I think she thought maybe I was trying something new as a kid, and maybe it wouldn't be the direction I'd take, as a professional. I mean, I'm sure she had no idea that I'd be here now doing what I love. But I remember getting up and busking, and in the town centre it was me with backing tracks, and I just remember singing all my favourite pop songs, and all people walking past, throwing money in a hat. Which is so alien to me now, because I've been working full-time in Dubai as a singer for nearly 6 years. I mean, my family aren't incredibly musical, but there was always music in the house. They were always listening to music, they appreciate music, and my dad is my biggest critic, but also my biggest fan. So he's always supported me, and all my family support me, which is amazing. Super lucky to have that in my family. But for me, really, I used to watch Top of the Pops a lot, and I used to get super inspired by seeing the artists on there, and I don't know, it was just something inside me, which music just always was something that I wanted to do, and I can't explain where it came from really, because there is no real background apart from the fact that my granddad, he said his mum was an opera singer, and apparently she was tipped to be the biggest opera singer of the time, but her husband unfortunately wouldn't let her sing because of the society and the pressures in those days, in their generation. She wasn't able to achieve her dream, which in some ways is really sad. And I think for me to hear a story like that has really inspired me to push and try and achieve my dream, because the fact that someone had that inside them and was that talented and wasn't able to pursue it, I just think is really such a crying shame. The first song I recorded wasn't my song, it was actually Creep by Radiohead, which is one of my favourite songs. And I think the reason why it's one of my favourite songs is more because it was the first song that I ever recorded in a studio, and I was about 13, 14, and I won a competition at my Saturday school where I studied music. And because I won the competition, they said to me, you can record any of these songs, and they gave me a list of about 5, and it was the only option for me on this list. Like, the other songs were just so not me. So I chose that song, and I think they were very surprised because all the other songs were like Sugar Babes and Spice Girls and all this cheesy female stuff that they expected me to choose.
And I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? 'Cause I don't belong here. Whatever makes you happy, and whatever you hide, you're so very...
For me, one of the biggest challenges is being under pressure to write new songs. Because for me it's not something you can force, and I feel like sometimes you need escapism to create new ideas and come up with new thoughts and new concepts for the songs. So for me it's all life experiences usually, or it can be something as simple as hearing another song that has inspired me in some way, like it's captivated my thoughts and made me want to write something of my own, or it can be literally anything. Like, I wrote a song about this bracelet, which is so random, but it's called Pocket Full of People, and these are all little people. I don't know if you can see that. Little people all joined together, like when you're young and you cut those kind of like paper people and you open it and it like, there's all these people holding hands. So I wrote about this bracelet. I was just having the strangest moment, and I thought, I'm going to write a song about this bracelet because it inspired me in some way, that all people are together and we don't necessarily, like, apparently we meet thousands and thousands and thousands of people in our lifetime, and we just get these impressions and first impressions of people when we're travelling. And I wrote it about this, but I wrote it about travelling and meeting new people and how quirky they are and how they affect you and how they affect how you grow, and it just inspired me, so I wrote a song called Pocket Full of People. My dream of where to perform as my favourite and absolute passion to be would not be as conventional as maybe other singers or other performers, because for me, I don't want to, I mean, my dream isn't to do the O2, isn't to do like Wembley, although that would be absolutely incredible. And I wouldn't say no, I mean, let's just be honest. But for me to do like a really obscure jazz festival or like a really underground jazz club in London or New York, or Newport Jazz Festival, which is something I went to, having been there on the other side of it as an audience member, for me, if I could perform there, would be absolutely unbelievable, because the standard of musicians that were there when I went were the kind of people that I aspire to be in the future. And I mean, these singers were like people that have had long careers already, and you know, there was a lady in her 50s called Lisa Fisher who I absolutely adore, and I think if I could be in that position at that age and have that much experience and be on a stage like that with only 100, 150 people maximum in the audience, that's more personal to me than doing a big stadium with thousands of people. I appreciate more small crowds that really appreciate music rather than a big crowd that just want to jump up and down and get drunk. So yeah, that's, for me, it's more intimate to perform to a smaller crowd like that who actually love my music. My message of hope for other creatives and singer-songwriters in general would be to just push through the hard times and make sure that you're always pursuing your passion and your dream, because people are going to come along and judge you, and people are going to come along and critique you and talk about you whilst you're on stage. You can see it happening, but you just have to be stronger than that and just realise, look, I've really taken a personal journey to be here, and this is something I want to do, and no one should be able to tell you what to do and what path your life should take, and it's your own journey. So I think just be yourself and just follow your dreams, and don't let anyone tell you or judge you or make you feel like you can't do what you love.